Hello! Hi again!
Greetings, everybody.
I'm so excited. All right, I have a lovely guest here. My dear guest, could you tell me your name and time zone, please?
Greetings, everybody. I am the galactic hero and super robo VTuber known as Gold Guardian, and my current time zone would be the JST or GMT plus 9.
Let's go! I'm so excited to have you here. Yeah. You are my first robot, specifically, giant robot guest. So yeah, I'm so excited you're here.
It is so nice to be here as well.
Yay! All right, my new favorite question to ask people, if you had to describe either yourself or your content in 3 words, how would you describe yourself?
Gaming, giant robots, and more giant robots.
Gaming, giant robots. Okay, that checks out.
Maybe.
Ooh. I gotta flip over my new notes page for you. Yay! Oh my god! So what kind of games do you like to play?
Most of the time, I do enjoy playing tactical turn-based or JRPG. And before you ask, yes, I'm pretty old. So the newer games which involves lots of running, dashing, ducking, and all of that with lots of colors thrown on the screen, they are not exactly my thing. I am more of a very patient kind of person, but just because I enjoy things like JRPG or grand strategy games like Civilization or Europa at them, because the majority of my problem solving solution involves my fist their face.
Punching, yes. Woo. Okay, somebody is asking, just how giant are you, Mr. Giant Robot? How tall are you? Are we allowed to know?
Sure. Currently I am here set to fit in the tea parlor. So at what you would consider human size would be, say, around 2 meters.
Ooh.
2 meters, yeah. So that's why, thankfully, I brought my own chair here.
Your own chair and your own teacup.
Yes, a giant-sized teacup. But I do have the capability of growing large, like have you ever watched Ultraman?
Yes.
And you know how becomes a giant, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have the capability of becoming a giant, to which I become what is better known as Mazinger size,
Ooh.
Yes.
So 2 meters to approximately many meters.
You can say that.
That's so cool. Well, thank you for not breaking my roof of my tea room. I appreciate the small size for today. And your own chair.
That would be very bad.
It would be bad. I don't have enough money for that yet. I am, I got money, but not that much money. But so you said it's like Civilization, right? Do you play all of the Civ games? Do you have a favorite Civ game?
Unfortunately, I did not manage to play all of the Civ games. More because I was exposed to games like Civilization much younger. But when you are younger, you have a tendency to be a little more hot-blooded. So back then my gaming choices were I have to apologize in advance. League of Legends.
I play League of Legends. Let's go.
Well, that, mind you, before you continue, that was many years ago. Now if I go back there, I believe I will burst a vine from the blood pressure.
Oh dear. So. Oh, let's not. Okay, stay away.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh my god.
But yeah, so in a way, you grow older and you just start to appreciate all the slow and steady video games.
Like JRPGs.
Yes. Like, I do enjoy JRPGs when I was younger as well. So I was never single base. Like back, I do remember that back where I come from, there's always the JRPG kids, and then there's always the the more active things like FPS or fighting game kids. So being kids and being stupid as kids, you have things like fighting games are lame. No, JRPGs are lame, and it will be back and forth and back and forth.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, nowadays I'm just more of a I play whatever I want.
Nice. That's the best. Play whatever you want.
Yeah.
That's so fun. Oh my god.
Indeed.
Oh. Okay, so it seems like you've been gaming for a while. Are you a console or like specifically PC gamer or just everything?
I can play everything, but at the current situation, I only have my laptop to do with, and other than playing video games, because I don't really play video games all the time, right? One of the best things that I do enjoy, for example, is because I am living in Osaka right now.
Ooh.
So I often take walks around the quiet neighborhood of my place because I really enjoy that. And if I am feeling a little, what's the word for it, spendthrifty,
Ooh.
when you feel like you just want to, uh, do you know that one meme where the guy puts on a shades and he just started spreading money all over?
Yes.
You know,
I love
yes.
that one.
When you are just in that mood, I would go to the Osaka equivalent of Akihabara. But because Akihabara is in Tokyo, so Osaka we have something called Denden Machi or Denden
Dendenmachi.
Town.
Ooh.
Yeah, Denden Town, right?
Ah.
The locations in Denden Town are a bit sporadic and spread out all over, whereas Akihabara is like this big, huge bundle squeezed
Yeah, it's like
together.
condensed. Yeah.
So because there's plenty of space in Denden Town, I think I prefer the quiet and peace of there, while compared to the scenery in Akihabara, because Akihabara is so dense when you come to think about
That's
it.
very true.
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm sure the weather right now is really good for like walks and things too. Like it's not as hot anymore.
Maybe, but we recently also had a typhoon in here, so it's pretty much been raining for the past few weeks.
Oh no, I hope you're okay. That's the worst.
Well, I'm not in the epicenter of the typhoon, but because the typhoon is, you know how they all come from the direction of the sea, right? So mostly, the beach-bound cities are going to be hit first.
Yeah.
While thankfully Osaka is smack dab in the middle.
Nice.
What we get, however, is the aftermath of a typhoon, which is lots and lots of rain.
Just rain. Do you like the rain?
Yes.
Are you okay with it?
I don't like it when it interrupts what I plan to do.
Oh, valid. Me too.
Yeah.
I'm sure you get kind of rusty. I don't know. Are you anti-rusty? Do you have like rust be gone on your metal?
I do. Yes, I do have rust protection, but the thing is, just because I have rust protection, it doesn't mean I enjoy rain on me. It's still, it's
Wet.
yes,
for lack of a better word, everything gets wet.
wet.
And monsoon season
Yes.
is like no joke. Specifically post typhoon, it rains. I don't know about like exactly Japan, but I know Korea, it just rains for like weeks straight. It's the worst.
You do live in Korea, yes.
So I have similar experiences. Not quite
I
exactly
see.
the same, but
Yeah. I do remember though when during my first year in here, right? When I experienced my first typhoon season, right? The windows of my apartment actually rattled because
No.
because at that time the typhoon is actually quite close, right? And I was really worried that the window would come off. But because I live in thankfully I choose a much newer apartment building,
ooh.
right? So they are actually built, right,
Oh.
to counter lots of the after effects or the effects of natural disaster.
Yeah, like the
We
heavy
s-
winds and the
yes,
earthquakes.
correct. So while we still take some bruns of the typhoon, or you know how
Hmm.
Japan is very earthquake prone, for example.
Yep. I don't know how y'all
Yes,
do it.
I like I said, on the first year, I was like, oh my god, this is not happening.
This is
But
how I
now
die.
but now I am on my fourth year, and
Oh.
I once actually slept through a scale 5 earthquake.
Yeah, are you serious? Gold Guardian,
Yes,
that's wild. You're a different
yes,
breed. Oh my god.
yes. Apparently, I got so used to the earthquake in Japan that I woke up, and then my friend was calling you. My friend was calling me. Did you feel the earthquake? And I was like, I was asleep.
A what? A what happened? Excuse me?
What? Yeah. So
Oh yeah, oh yeah. That's wild. I guess that's like, you know when you're a baby and like if your like parents like rock the crib back and forth, like that was just you in bed. You were like, yeah, this is great. A relaxing rock back and forth. Wow. I mean, like things are falling down. Oh my god. Gold Guardian.
I have no arguments for that.
So okay, in the same vein, do you fall asleep on like car trips or like on public transportation? Can you fall asleep easily?
I do, and in fact, I
Called it.
think public transportation is one of the easiest places I have fallen asleep on.
Right?
I have fallen asleep on some very weird places. I think it's even my parents were concerned. You know,
Oh.
back when they used to take round trips to certain places on Earth.
Okay.
These guys as humans, mind you.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
these guys are humans,
Okay,
and
okay, okay.
then I was much younger, of course. We were taking breaks from our duties back in my home world, and
Mm.
they would be very concerned because apparently I could sleep anywhere.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes, and the epic center of that sleeping anywhere, you know, in apostrophes, sleeping anywhere, was during a class trip I enjoyed with friends when I was in middle school.
Okay.
Right, we, as part of the theme of the class trip was
Hmm.
getting along with nature, and it sounds good on paper until apparently their idea was to basically bring the entire class to one uncharted abandoned island.
Oh,
Right.
wait, what?
But the island still gets regular visits from the locals nearby the island
Okay.
because apparently it's used as a tourist attraction. You know?
Okay. So it's not completely abandoned.
Because the abandoned part was because it was abandoned by the original local, the
Oh,
original tribe of the island, because
interesting.
the tribe assimilated to the modern population, right?
Oh.
But that is the background that I was told.
Okay.
So So, because it was a big camping trip and there were about 30 students along with
Oh, wow.
teachers and all of that, so basically the teachers, being teachers, they taught us survival skills, things like building our own tents, you know, how to light a fire and all of that. We were middle schoolers, so this was exciting for us.
Yeah.
And obviously, being, you know, middle schoolers and young boys and girls, when somebody takes out a football, right? A sport is about to happen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and the football match had to end because one kid accidentally kicked a dead coral.
Oh,
And
no.
yeah, but that was one of the funniest things to happen though, because everybody was laughing at him, and
you know?
he was being potty mouthed the entire match.
Aww.
So we built our tent, and it was basically the first time I slept on the beach side, and we make sure it's not too near the water because, you know.
When the tide comes in, you get
Yes.
washed away.
Exactly. So the tide isn't what woke me up, if you are wondering. But apparently what I didn't know was that I woke up the next morning on the beach, my body fully covered in red ants.
No.
Yes. So You know what red ants do? I wasn't sure if they are fire ants or red ants, but I think you know what they do. So the
Oh.
first thing I did was just run to the water.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's what you
Yeah.
do. You dive straight in. Oh my god.
Yeah. Still basically in my makeshift pajamas, I think, and I just got out of my sleeping bag and directly ran to the water because the red ants were all over.
Oh
So
no.
that's an experience.
Yeah, were you okay? Did you get bitten? Were you okay?
They were all over. So of course. So yes.
Oh my god. I was told a story of when I was like a wee baby. I came to my mom like crying, and she was like, "What?" She couldn't figure out why I was crying because like I wasn't bleeding, I wasn't, you know, like there was no scratches or anything. She was like, "What are you doing? Are you hungry?" And she turned around and like I had sat down in an ant pile, so there were ants like all over my legs. And she was like, "Ah!" So she got a hose and just like hosed me off in the backyard. But I don't remember this, so like I'm not traumatized or anything. But yeah, baby Lethia was like had ants in her pants for a long enough time to, you know, make a difference. Ants are no joke.
Yeah, they are not funny when they're in groups.
No.
So
No. Was it so? Were any of the other people on the trip, did they get ants, or were they just attracted to you?
Actually, I wasn't paying attention because I was too busy submerging myself back then.
Yeah, too
So
busy just trying to survive. You know, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
pretty much. And then I think the ending of that story was one of the teachers coming over to see if I'm okay. I told him what happened and he just laughed at me and he's like, kids.
No. Kids. Ha ha ha. I would be mortified if my teacher just laughed at me when I'm like, I'm dying. And the teacher's like, LOL, you'll be fine.
Pretty much.
Oh, that's so wild. Oh my god. That's crazy. Did you go on any other like kind of field trips? Was that the only field trip you went on? Anything?
I think that will be the last field trip I have because as soon as I enter high school, the high school I've entered is pretty much very
Like studious, academic.
scholastic centric, and there wasn't much happening between the high school period and the college period and all the way until now where I'm currently studying in Japan.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, that's an interesting story. I tell you what. That's wild. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what are we talking about? We were talking about gaming before. I don't know how I got you to talk about like ants on your body, but here we are. Okay. Oh, it was falling asleep on trains, falling asleep and stuff. Some people think the sound of rain is like relaxing. So when you're not in rain, right? Like, do you like the like ASMR like sounds of rain? Do you not care?
This is going to sound a bit unusual, but my favorite ASMR sounds are the sounds of cutlery and cooking.
Cooking? Do you like cooking?
And well, I have been a bachelor and single for as long as I can remember, so cooking is a skill that I have to pick up.
That's
So,
true. If you live alone,
yes.
yeah, I feel that.
I was taught the basics by my mother. In this case, Mama Gul, right?
Mama good.
Yeah, in this case, Mama Gul, and here's the thing. Basically, her to me was, if you don't learn how to cook, no lady's gonna want you. And that was 10 years ago. So now I'm like, okay, where's the lady?
I know how to cook. Where's my woman? Where's she at? I mean, I will say, truly, at least if it was me, if you cook any kind of food, like that's immediately like 100 points. Straight up. Might as well propose at that point. I love eating. Most girls like eating. It's true.
Yeah,
Ooh.
pretty much.
So the sound of cooking, does it bring back like good memories? I know, at least for me, like I like cooking with people or like near people. It makes me feel happy.
I think it's. I think it's more to do with the actual sound of sizzling, maybe
Ooh.
when the cooking happen. Also, if you, I particularly enjoy, for example, the sound of root vegetables being cut.
Root ones specifically.
Yeah,
Ooh.
for some reason. So, in Japan, for example, there's a thing called a daikon, right?
Daikon, radish, right? The big
Yes,
radishes.
yes, yes, the big radishes. So the daikons that I get
Mm.
when eating oden is very clear cut. But then I look at an actual daikon for the first time, and it's this big, thick root vegetable, and the sound of the daikon being cut is something that makes me feel, yeah, I'm in a good place, you know.
That's so interesting. It is a very satisfying sound. Like it's a little like crispy and it goes straight through the board. Like there's a good chop at the end.
It is, and but the thing is, when it comes to ASMR as well, right?
Mm.
My in the I like various type of sound.
Oh.
I don't just enjoy the sound of things being cut or sizzle for cooking, right? Like your basic rubbing or crinkle sounds or paper being smashed about, right? I am still capable of enjoying them, although on the other spectrum, I enjoy listening to what's the word? What's the word for this one?
Ooh.
Home workshop machinery type of things. Like,
Ooh.
have you seen restoration videos in YouTube where
No.
they bring there's this YouTube channel
Huh.
which has been a guilty pleasure of mine, right?
Oh, spill it, spill it.
It's
Tell me, tell me.
yes, it's called, I believe it's called odd tinkering.
Odd tinkering?
Okay, odd tinkering. So this guy would brought in like completely rusty Game Boys from
Ooh.
garage sales, which he brought I think for like $3 or $5, and the
Ooh.
Game Boy is like completely rusted out and not malfunctioning.
Whoa, so basically
And
like
with
trash.
yes, and it's a restoration channel, and whatever contraption he uses and everything else, right? He turned that completely trash rusty Game Boy into brand new.
No way!
Yeah, and the sounds it makes, I think you'll be able to appreciate that as well since you talk about ASMR.
Yeah. I mean, I used to not be a fan. Like I think it's such a wide field. And I think I can't always have music playing. Like if there's music in a language I understand well, I get distracted. So I think that's why I like ASMR because then it's just like paper noises. So I'm not focusing on the lyrics or anything. So I've only recently gotten into ASMR, but I've never heard of the restoration ones. That sounds cool. That would be like some
It
interesting like
is.
noises, like handheld noises. At first I thought you were talking about like industrial machine noises, but this sounds different.
They are a little too heavy and a little too close to home. So yeah.
Mm. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so restoration, or like you said, like papery noises, like paper shuffling or like crumpling paper.
hmm
Ooh, I like that one. Or cooking, yeah, cooking. Or like maybe I like cafe noises sometimes, like clinking glasses, or like espresso machine noises. Do you drink coffee? I know you're a tea person. Do you like coffee too, Gold?
I like both tea and coffee,
Ooh, how do you
yes.
take your coffee? Are you an espresso person? Latte?
Black.
Americano?
Uh, uh, how should I put this?
Ooh.
The term we are not looking for is not Americano, because
Oh,
Americano, if I believe, it's basically, for the lack of a better word, is a diluted espresso, right?
it is. It is a diluted espresso.
Yeah.
So you just mean like
Uh,
straight brewed coffee, nothing else.
yes.
Ooh.
So because I how should I put this? I don't really once in this case,
Mm.
Papa Goal,
Oh,
right?
oh,
I probably inherited my love for coffee from him,
oh.
right? And he always drinks straight brewed coffee, which he make the coffee not grow. By the way, he made the coffee for himself every morning in the house, right?
Wow.
So the one time, because this was very long ago,
Mm.
when a certain coffee chain opened its first galactic branch. So he decided to give it a go because he wants to see what
What
and
the
he
hype?
he tried an americano, and he had a very disgusted look on his
Oh
face.
no, Papa
Because
Gold. Oh no.
yes, because he straight up told me this is just diluted espresso. And Papa is one of those people who can drink an Italian ristretto. That is
Ooh.
a very concentrated small
Oh,
cup
that's
of coffee.
so bitter.
Yes,
Wow.
he drank it in one gulp, and I just stared at him, going, "Dad,
Dang.
what are you?"
I'm so impressed. I could never.
Yes, he just went like that
Straight
in
up.
front of me,
That's wild. I could never.
I know.
I think that really says a lot about his character. Dang.
Pretty much.
That's awesome. So what? Okay, so I know you don't like Americanos, but I think iced Americano is probably the most popular order of coffee in Korea. Like, doesn't matter if it's winter or summer, everybody gets iced Americano. Is it the same thing in Japan? Is Japan different?
I do believe, right? It has to do with the quality of the coffee beans itself. So I'd imagine that in a place like Korea or Japan, because you know how the companies of both countries play very high to their standards, right? So of
Yeah.
course they are probably going to source the best coffee beans available, because in where I am at, right, they are cool. The cool brew coffee tastes just fine.
Ooh.
Okay, like there's nothing completely wrong with it. I think probably Papa Go just had one very bad experience, and
Okay.
he disliked it, because I did try the Americano, purchase it, and yeah, something is a little off.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
yeah, although after that he never want to buy branded coffee anymore, so he just makes his own at home. So there's that.
Ooh. Like, does he roast the beans himself, or does he just like grind it himself?
He grinds it himself, I think.
Nice.
As for the beans roasting, I don't think he goes that far. He's the type to go to work at 8 in the morning, so he probably doesn't have the time to roast the beans.
Wow, I'm still impressed. I mean, I feel like it's good to have a schedule, so I think that's a good way to start your morning, is to have like, yeah, your tea or your coffee, and then go from there. Interesting.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah. So are you a tea in the morning person, a coffee in the morning person? Do you change it up?
I would never tell my parents this, but no, I'm not a morning person.
Really? You're a night owl. Ooh.
Yeah, it's probably had to do with the fact that I do work a lot at night and make a habit of sleeping only at around 1 or 2 in the morning.
No.
But that's also because that my classes normally do not start until 9:30 or 10 o'clock, so I could afford to sleep in a little bit more.
Ah.
Although I'm also fully aware that it's a very bad habit, right? But
As long as you're consistent, I will say. I'm a morning person, so I can get up at like 5 a.m. no problem. Maybe the first like 30 minutes are rough, but yeah, like I have my caffeine and I'm good. So, but I get tired at like maybe like 10:30. I start to fall asleep.
10:30.
I am baby. At a certain point, like my stomach starts hurting. I can't. My body shuts down. My body's like, time to go to bed. I
Yeah,
wish.
that often happens to the best of us, unfortunately.
Oh, yep. The tummy issues. I can't.
Mm.
I can't. Ooh. So okay, so you said you've been in doing your robot duties in Japan for the past 4 years?
Actually, no. This is going to be quite interesting, because I'm proud to announce that I have actually effectively only been 1 month as a virtual YouTuber.
No
Right.
way.
So it has been a very wild ride, I must admit, because I wasn't expecting people, to basically search in like, well, okay. I mean, there's a lot of response. At first, I thought, because you know how the majority of the VTuber industry is very woman dominated,
Hi,
right?
yes.
And you don't necessarily have to. Mm, how do I put this in?
Oh,
How do I
choose
put
your
this very
words
properly?
carefully. I'm controlling your
Yes.
teacup. I'll take your tea away if you offend me.
No. Th- Yeah, that's why I'm trying to find a very proper way of saying this.
Mm,
Um,
I will say
between
your model being cute can definitely give you an early boost, especially in the first couple months.
model being cute or the model having great assets.
Assets. Yes.
Yes, great assets, right?
Great assets.
Yeah, great assets. It helps for, I believe we call it viewer engagement
Mm.
in a sense. But as I have discovered by watching plenty of them, just because a model have great assets does not basically mean that they are into things like R rated or adult stuff, because they just
True.
most of the time they are just variety streamers.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah, like my first exposure to all things VTubing wasn't necessarily from I think most people's first exposure will be Hololive.
Yeah,
Right.
usually. Yeah.
Yeah, although somewhere during 2016, right,
Mm.
I had my own, before moving to Japan, I had my own small studio with a small team, and we were working on independent films, which is going to be which actually has been a part of the reason as to why I created a VTuber character in the first place.
No
But more on that,
way.
yeah, but more on that later, because
Yes.
original VTubing side.
Mm,
So
mm, mm.
I think it's like all my staff were very into Kizuna Ai.
Kizuna Ai. What a
Yes.
cutie.
Yes, So, but back then I didn't understood what Kizuna Ai was, or
Yeah.
what Hatsune Miku was, because my head, right, I was too buried in work to the point where I was ignoring developments of my surroundings.
Oh no.
So, bad move, by the way.
Oh,
You
okay.
must I must tell people that yes, even though you are focused on your work and personal project, never ignore what's happening around you,
Okay.
because there might be a new piece of technology that might interest you. And as you can see, I got a late start in the VTubing world. I wish I started it this much earlier,
Oh, that's true. You know what? I could see you blowing up. Don't worry.
Yeah. Although I am not worried about blowing up in this case. I'm more worried on whether one day I'll run out of things to do or say.
Really? I think you're so
Because-
interesting, though. I'm not worried about that.
Is that so? Thank you.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah. So after the what's
Thank you.
it's all right. Okay. So that's your alert, right?
Sorry. Yes.
Okay. So after that, I think it was around in the middle of 2018 to 2019,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Where unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, I had to shut down the studio, right? Because not only it wasn't making money, but I was actually also losing money in the process. So I thought
Aw.
that was it. that was it. That was going to be the end of my independent filmmaking ventures. Yeah. Although what happened afterwards was both. I think apparently I moved the hearts out of both mom and dad at the same time. So they basically pulled me aside and was like, "Do you want to go to Japan to study?" And I was like, "Of course." So
Yes.
here I am. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So the moment I ran out of funding, I think my parents just come in the rescue and saying, "We know." They were like, "We know what you want to do, but it seems like you lack knowledge. So basically, they gave me the equivalent of, we are kicking you to Japan so you can learn filmmaking."
Oh my god, that's so cool. Let's go, mom and dad. That's so awesome.
So throughout the years, right, there have been plenty of ups and downs, but I think I was being very patient while playing my cards correctly. So to summarize it all, currently I am in a stable place, but the only way I can see myself now is just going up, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all those years where nothing seems to be working, they all seem to be over now, because I seem to only be able to see myself going up from here. Yeah. And around that time, I think it was around late 2019 where I first got my exposure to virtual YouTubers, especially being in Japan.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And 2019, I believe, was the start of the boom, right? But at the same time, I wasn't actually paying too much attention, because silly me.
Okay.
Because silly me.
Oh no.
Although my first knowledge of the existence of a virtual YouTuber was a clip on YouTube of, do you know Natsuhiro Matsuri
Name, it rings a bell.
of Hololive?
Yes. Oh, okay. Yes.
So it was a clip of Matsuri from Hololive screaming at Mario Kart. Right? And the thing is, her avatar is this very small woman.
Yeah.
Right? But she has this death metal scream, you know. And it was, I believe, during her early days, because Matsuri right now is still active in Hololive, and she has mellowed out a lot.
Oh,
but
really?
Apparently back in those days, whenever, I think it was either failing at a video game where her death metal scream would come up, and I think that also serves as a bridge for overseas audience knowing into it more. And from there, I think I just went deeper into the rabbit hole. There's the Nori production VTubers, there's the Niji Sanji VTubers, and then there is the V Sojo and everything else. And after all those exposure and the fact that I am in art school learning how to design characters, right? I thought, okay, you know what? Let's become one. Because remember when I mentioned something about making independent films back then?
Yeah.
So those independent films that I made, right, are heavily inspired by tokusatsu.
Okay.
Right? I wanted to make my own. Yeah. So, but making tokusatsu, aka, for the lack of a better word, people call this Japanese Power Rangers. When Power Rangers came from Japan.
I mean,
so,
yep.
Yeah. So because I only mention this because it's easier for, I believe, the chat to understand.
Yeah, like Western audiences are more used to Power Rangers than
pretty much. So I had a different channel to basically showcase everything I did in the past few years. But because the creation of this Gold Guardian character also indicates a personal reboot of my brand, right? So
Ooh,
it's in the same universe as my old short films.
no
It's just
way! Really?
yeah, yeah, but it's just a different start, you know.
Ooh,
Hmm.
that's so cool. You're coming into this with such an interesting and relevant skill set, right? Being an art student, having worked in an entertainment film-esque industry, like you know how to tell a story, you know what a good character design is. So yeah, I can only see you going up from here. And you do have a great voice. You have a fantastic voice
You
for
have
speaking
my
activities.
thanks.
It's true.
You have my thanks.
It's true. I'm so excited to see it. That's so cool too. That's part of like the universe of your past projects. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. You have my thanks.
Ooh. All right, when is the Gold Guardian animation coming out? When's the live action Gold Guardian coming out?
Uh, Anime costs a lot of money, so
That
maybe in the, most of the times, right? I actually so far, because as I mentioned earlier, I haven't received any return capitals, or basically I haven't made money from anything yet.
Mm.
So I most of the time I paid for everything on my own, and the only time where I am incapable of paying anything on my own would be like what you mentioned. When is the Gold Garden anime coming out? Anime costs a lot of money.
And do that and do. You got a couple million on
Yeah.
you?
No,
Me
but
either.
yeah, no, but I did look around, and then and for the prices, right? And according to one studio whose name I shouldn't disclose because I don't want to start a fire, right?
Oh.
A fire, as in fire brewing on the internet.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay. Not
because
like a real
of the
fire.
no, not this has nothing to do with a real fire.
Okay.
So according to one studio,
Mm.
right? A 3-minute animation can cost somewhere between 9 to 10,000 US dollars. A real dedicated one with moving parts.
Was like a trailer, basically.
Not even a trailer. More like, say, you know how you do you know how V Shoujo recently had an
Mm.
animated intro for their 2 new talents?
Yeah.
Something similar to that.
Oh,
So
$10,000. Wow,
yeah.
that's
I
wild.
think the one V Shoujo did cost more than $10,000 because it's more than 3 minutes. So
Yeah.
after listening to the price and after checking my capitals, and like I was like, I need to work harder.
Oh yeah. Maybe we put that as like a long-term stretch goal or something. Woo!
Yeah. Although if it was in my power, I am probably leaning more into a live action thing like Kamen Rider if I ever
Ooh.
have the capital for it.
I hope
Right,
you
but
do. I want to see it. I want to
but
see
you,
it.
but one can dream, right?
Oh yeah, always. You should always have a dream. Always have something to
Mm,
work towards. I believe in you. I know you'll do it one day.
of course, of course.
That's so interesting. That's so
Mhm.
cool. Oh my gosh. You have such an interesting, again, like I'll say it again, you have such an interesting experience and like take on the character creation and design and entertainment process, right? That's so cool.
Mm,
You're so cool.
thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, as I said, I think it comes with the fact that I've also seen plenty of things in real life, right? So I kind of so a tip for people who just started to dream and want to, do their own thing.
I got my notes.
They,
Tell me.
yeah, just I'm going to put it this way: don't put your expectations too high,
Mm.
because when it comes crashing on you in a very negative way, it can basically decelerate your interest on even your dream, and this has ended many passions on people.
That's true.
So coming to Japan, right?
Mm.
I put my heart in a mental state of not expecting too much,
Okay.
okay, but always prepare for everything, okay.
Ooh.
And with this, I can confidently say that in this VTuber line,
Mm.
right? I think. Wait, am I allowed to self-promote here?
Oh
I
yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Whenever I start my streams, for example, I would always play my personal anime opening. Not animated, but more like it's a montage animation from a videographer,
Cute.
like you know how most VTubers have them.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So because I wanted to give people a sense where whenever they tune to my channel, it's basically like rewatching your 90s giant robot anime.
Let's go.
So when the opening plays, right? Complete with a 4:3 size and the feeling that you are watching it in a huge cathode ray television.
That's
Yes.
so great.
Yes, but because of that, I didn't sing my opening. I had a singer I met in Osaka,
Ooh.
right, sing the opening for me, like an actual artist. So that the part where I got a singer, I believe, is the connection and networking I made from my what I call relentless networking.
Mm.
So yeah, the relentless networking part, which actually earned me people that I can work with, is one of the things that I managed to land myself in by not expecting much. Because if you come, you have large expectations, right? But suddenly it slaps back at you saying no, you are going to be very disappointed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it could be very bad for your mental state because you thought your dream isn't going to work. In my case, though, I know that my dream can work. I just have to take it one step at a time. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's fantastic advice. That's true. Like, don't necessarily, don't go into it thinking that immediately your hard work is going to pay off, right? Like, you got to keep at it. So,
Nope. Yeah.
yeah.
You just have to continue grinding. But
Get that grind.
normally when people say continue grinding, right? Don't just grind at the same spot. You must grind smartly. So when an opportunity arrives, just have at it,
Go for it. Yeah. Take it.
Yeah, go for it.
Try
Go
it.
for it.
Even if it ends up badly, at least you tried it. Like, go to Japan. Go study in Japan.
The many times it ended badly. I think I lost count.
Oh man, you're still here though. Gold Guardian
I'm
is
still-
still fighting.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Dang. I appreciate the words of advice and encouragement. As somebody that's new to this, I will take it to heart and I will continue to grind and not have big expectations.
You have most welcome. Though remember though, not have big expectations, but when it gets to you, when it arrives to you, take it.
Take it. Take that
Yes.
opportunity. Just go for it. Don't be scared about it.
Yeah, because a lot of those dream personal projects is basically 20% your work, but I can say this safely, 80% of those is good networking. So don't be afraid to start from rock bottom because since it's I have 7 minutes left for this interview, right?
Yeah.
I think so. So, if possible, I want to tell a very interesting story.
Yes,
When
yes.
I was
Always, yes.
speaking. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I want to tell a very interesting story, and when I say interesting, because I believe this is quite wild by my standards. even.
Ooh.
So, okay.
I'm ready.
So
I got my popcorn.
Yeah. So yeah. This was when I was in Tokyo, and this Tokyo part was before I started studying in Osaka. Right. I went to Tokyo because I saw a YouTube channel where a guy was teaching or showing people how to make budget films that doesn't kill your wallet.
Ooh, okay.
So obviously I got attracted and we exchanged things and I went on a trip to Tokyo to basically learn for things from him,
Ooh.
right? And he is a very interesting person because when I arrived in Tokyo, apparently a lot of his contacts are people that you would not expect. For example, I was helping him shoot a project, right? One of the guys who work for him is a store clerk for for a video rental that's rentals adult videos.
Nice. Woo!
Okay, so
Spicy.
so yeah, so apparently from there, the guy introduced him to another guy, and this other guy introduced him to another guy, and it goes on
Okay.
until he apparently get in contact with a guy called Seiji Takaiwa,
Ooh.
right? Seiji Takaiwa is one of the leading stunt actors in Japan.
Oh.
So my mentor studied stunt work, stunt action work
Yeah.
from the one of the leading stunt actors in Japan, and it all started with a connection from people working in porn.
From the corn industry. Let's go. That's hilarious.
You can cut this off stream. He probably doesn't want me
No way.
telling him some secrets.
It's been immortalized. It has to
Oh,
stay now
no.
forever. Oh no. Oh no.
But yeah, I did actually get to meet this. I get to meet very interesting people during my trip to Tokyo.
Yeah.
Right. And how one of them, this was at that time, mind you, at that time one of them was I believe is a still active AV actress.
Ooh. I'm go off queen. Get it. Get your
Okay.
money. Make that bread.
Although right now, I believe the latest story from her is that she is no longer working as an AV actress, but apparently she is dancing for the Japanese branch of Broadway.
Whoa.
So yeah, life is interesting like that.
Life is crazy.
Life is very crazy, and the next thing you know, I got introduced to I believe the Japanese actor as well,
Ooh.
right? Because when I say B-list, I don't mean his acting ability is B-list, but more like this is the guy you call because his face resembles a Yakuza. So whenever the Japanese studios need people who look like Yakuza, they call this guy, and they basically pay him to act menacing.
Oh, that's
know,
funny.
Yeah, you know how it goes, right? Whenever you need bad guys, look through actor profiles, call in a few people who look like they could be bad guys.
Oh
okay?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, although he does resemble a Yakuza, but when he sees me for the first time, he knows I was very nervous, So this B-list actor, I'm just going to call him Mr. Kazuki.
Mr.
Right?
Kazuki.
Okay, he gave me the biggest hug I ever had, and he's like, don't be nervous, and instantly my nervous just gone away.
Aww.
Like that. And fast forward a few years later, he is an extra at one of the newest Ultraman. So
Wow.
it's like I say, life is interesting.
That's so cool. Man, networking. You're right. Networking, like 80% of it.
Networking.
All right.
So yeah,
You heard that, chat? Be
So-
nice to people. Put yourself out there.
always be nice to everybody, and yeah, networking is 80%.
Say your please and
Always.
thank yous.
Especially when they're doing you a favor for free. Especially when they're doing you a favor for free.
For free.
Right?
For free.
Always be nice to them.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
So yeah, that's a start.
Wow, that's
So-
perfect timing. Oh my god, we're like almost at the very end. Thank you for sharing. I feel like you have so many more stories that I would like to hear someday. Man, I'm sad that these are only 50-minute sessions. I know I'm the one that did the scheduling, but man, I just want to talk to you guys forever. Y'all are so interesting.
I mean, you can always arrange something else in the future. I enjoyed this as well. I do apologize if I blabber too much without giving you a chance to talk to.
No, I mean, chat can always come and see me whenever. I only get to do tea time at special periods. So y'all are, I appreciate giving y'all the chance to tell your stories. So thank you for opening up. This has been fun. Yay! All right, before I let you leave, the door is locked, even for giant robots. You have to say one nice thing about yourself, and chat is encouraged to participate.
One nice thing about... Okay, this is going to be difficult because
You're so talented. Why is it difficult?
Because for the lack of a better word, I never put myself in the spotlight because they are way more talented.
I digress.
I just try doing my best at everything, maybe.
Yeah, I see that.
I think does that count?
Yeah.
I always try to do my best at everything.
Yeah, you try very hard. Yeah.
Maybe not hard enough, but thank you.
Oh my gosh, take a second. I need you to take a second. Gold Guardian, I need you to, tonight, you need to look in the mirror and you need to say, you did good today. Just tell yourself that you did good today. Take a second, breathe, drink your tea. Make sure you look back on all the cool things you've achieved. Because as somebody who's, you know, looking from the outside in, I think you do a lot of cool stuff. I'm proud of you. Good job.
Thank you.
Good job. Pat
Thank
pat.
you very much.
Pat pat.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming out. I had a fantastic time talking to you tonight.
Thank you so much for inviting me as well.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy you put your initial PNG out. I was like, a giant robot? Yes. Yes, I want to talk to the giant robot. Yes. Tokusatsu, yes. I was so happy about it. I was so excited to talk to you. And I'm excited to talk to you more in the future because I'm gonna keep bugging you. So
I look forward to it. If you want anything, just poke me.
Yay! I'll poke you. It might hurt my finger. Your plates look a little solid. Maybe I'll give you like a knock knock. Tok, tok, tok. Tok, tok, tok.
That sounds bad. That sounds better. Please don't hurt yourself when communicating with me.
I won't. I will try really hard not to. I'll do my best. But all right. You have any last words for chat before I send you off into the digital nether sphere?
Any last words for chat? Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Always wear protection. There, that's it.
Thank you, Golga. I don't know what I was expecting, but it was not that. But you're right. All right. Thank you.
Why, is there something else that I am not aware of regarding protection?
No, it's the armor. He's talking about armor, everybody.
Yes, I'm talking about armor. always wear protection.
Always wear your armor. Me too. Underneath my collar, I have my own bulletproof vest. All right. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Yes, you do.
Bye.
Thank you.